Hi, I'm Congressman Jim McGovern. I'm the ranking member of the House Rules Committee. The Rules Committee is a traffic cop of Congress. Legislation moves through the Rules Committee to go to the House floor for consideration. But unfortunately, under the Republican leadership, bills come to the floor that are unamendable, that you can't change a word. But I just want you to understand the relationship between the closed process in this House and policy. So let's talk to a couple of the members who had their amendments denied. So I'm with my good friend, Congressman Jerry Connolly of Virginia. You have come before the Rules Committee with a number of amendments, including one on climate. What was it?
It was a simple amendment that just called for studies to provide data on dislocations of human beings due to weather and climate change.
Doesn't sound like a radical idea.
Apparently it was.
So what happened?
They didn't allow it to be considered or even discussed.
I'm with Congressman Dan Kildee from Michigan. Dan represents Flint, Michigan. Can you tell us about some of the amendments you've offered?
For sure. I mean, we offered an amendment, for example, that would simply have increased the amount of money available for clean drinking water programs. We hear from these Republicans all the time about how terrible it was what happened. And then when given an opportunity to do something, not only do they not support it, they don't let us have a vote on the floor.
So you came before the Rules Committee?
Yeah.
You presented your case?
I thought I did a good job.
I thought you did too. I was there,
and
right.
in fact, it was a case where I had a lot of heads nodding.
Right.
Democrats and
Right,
Republicans.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, they decided that they didn't want to have an amendment on the floor to deal with clean drinking water. They didn't want to give Congress a chance to vote on that question.
I'm with Congressman Gwen Moore of Wisconsin. You've offered amendments to the Rules Committee on these issues. Can you give us an example of some of the things you brought before the Rules Committee?
I offered an amendment to deny, electrical permits on the Great Lakes, and the Rules Committee wouldn't even allow us to have a debate on this. I didn't even get a chance to get an up and down vote on it. Consult with tribal communities if there were going to be deregulations or changes to how we deal with the Great Lakes. Nada. Not even a conversation was allowed.
Well, the sad reality is the Rules Committee has become the place where democracy goes to die, and we need to change that. I'm happy to be here with Congresswoman Norma Torres of California. You offered an amendment to the Rules Committee dealing with the environment. Can you tell us what it was?
My amendment, what it would do is it would require that the Interior Department ensure that the quality and availability of water would be protected for Indian tribes of jurisdiction for this bill. They voted it down, not even allowing us an opportunity to bring it to the floor, to discuss it, and allow us to vote on it.
Happy to be here with Congressman Jared Huffman from California.
In fact, I submitted a whole host of amendments, many of which were intended to make sure that we are following the law, that we are considering downstream interests in water decisions, that we're protecting disadvantaged communities, that we're protecting clean air, wildlife. Those kind of things apparently are not procedurally in order in this Republican Congress. I'm beginning to think things are partisan and unfair in the Rules Committee.
I'm here with Congresswoman Kathy Castor of the great state of Florida. Kathy, you've had amendments you brought before the Rules Committee dealing with the environment. Can you tell us about one of them?
You bet. I've had a number of bipartisan amendments that I have filed that would ban oil drilling off of the coast of Florida. Clean water, clean beaches are vital to our economy and our way of life. And time again, the Republicans have blocked even a fair debate on these amendments. And all we're asking for is a fair debate on the floor of the House, an up or down vote. But time and again, they've been blocked.
What we're asking from the Republicans is not that they vote for every idea that Democrats have. We know that that's not going to happen. But what we're asking for is a fair fight. We're asking for them to allow sensible, relevant, germane ideas to be brought before the full Congress. I mean, that's democracy. That shouldn't be a radical idea.